I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
How much time do I got with you? You wide open? We got 3 hours to spend. You want to Joe Rogan this thing and just go way too long?
Bro, whatever let's go, dude. Let's get lost.
Let's get deep. Let's get weird with it, Joe. All right.
Yes, man. Yes, dude.
All right. Well, hey, no one better I'd rather get weird with than you, Joe, from DED, joining us for Discover New Music. Of course, Joe, and I believe I say this right. Is it Cotela?
Yeah, good job, man.
Nailed it. All right.
All my teachers botched my name my whole life. I thought it was an easy name, but they say Cotela and stuff. I'm like, I'm not.
Cotela, whatever it may be. Yeah. All right. Well, good. I appreciate it. I'm glad I did well. Well, Joe, from DED, here for Discover New Music, and we are excited because DED, third album, first in 4 years. Yeah. And this has been a crazy last 5, so it may be like, okay, understandable. You know, you released an album in 2021, and then obviously at that point everything was already crazy. So it's like, okay, maybe they took some time, but this has really been a labor of love these last 3 years working on this new record again, Resent. It just dropped on the 19th. Walk us through that, because the timeline, you know, working on the music during the pandemic in your own studio on this independent label, maybe a play-by-play of this long-awaited third record from you guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, you know, the last record, School of Thought, like we had done, I think we finished it in the winter, December of 2019. And then it was going to be released in 2020 in like March. I think it was going to come out in May. And that was when we like put out the first single and all that stuff. And then everything fell, you know, everything closed down. So then, you know, the label, everybody wanted to wait it out or whatever, wait until things opened up, which took forever. So it ended up coming out in the end of 2021, like October. So we toured around then as much as we could. You know, things were still weird around then. It's you know, it's almost like a weird dream, honestly.
Fever dream, man. It's crazy.
Crazy. And then you know, so we did that, and then we just, you know, so then, you know, that brings us to around near the end of 2022, I guess. Yeah. So about 3 years. And you know, we were already kind of writing a little bit at that time, but we at that time like built our own studio in Phoenix, and we're just, you know, just being creative people, you know, making stuff. And so we were making all this music and just trying to continue, you know, and kind of, you know, your momentum was already kind of messed up at that point, you know, because that record, you know, I feel like it didn't get what it should have gotten because everything was closed down and everything. I think that happened to a lot of other bands as well. I'm not saying what was me or anything or what was us. But,
right.
And then so the time, so we're writing and stuff, and then I really don't want to get super deep into what was going on then, but just like our label was just and just the people we're working with, whatever, it just wasn't, they weren't like really like letting us do stuff, which is just really strange. It just took forever. Like we were just turning in music and trying to, you know, do this and that, tours, this and stuff, and it was really strange. And so we were just kind of like stuck, like we couldn't release music, we couldn't do all these things. And then at a certain point we were like, well then, you know, let us go or put out a record. And so then we had to get all this, it's just that music, you know, nightmare stuff that you hear about, the industry thing.
Right.
And, you know, that portion of that really sucked for us. Everything we did with them before that was amazing. So it's not like, you know, totally terrible, you know, people or anything. It was just business stuff. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah,
it's like that though. So, so then, you know, we had to figure out how to make everybody happy and get out of it and everything. So we finally did. And during that whole time though, of just being like, you know, feeling like we were kind of in like music jail, almost feeling. So we were just writing, recording, and just, you know, just trying to do what we could to be creative and still be ourselves, you know, and still like live our purpose and all that stuff.
Right.
So we did that. And then we wrote all these songs, man. We had, you know, in a way, it kind of brought us back to like the beginning when we had all the time in the world to write a record, you know, like, and even while we were doing it, we also didn't even know if we were going to be able to still be our band or not, or like, you know, get out of, you know, be able to do this again. So luckily, because of everybody behind the scenes, it worked out. And so then we had like a mountain of songs, like 40, 50 songs. And,
wow.
and which is awesome. And so we narrowed it down to the ones that made the new record, and it's just so sick to act out, dude. We're so pumped, and we're full of gratitude to be on the other side of that. And it's amazing.
In a long journey there, and I can only imagine. And you know what's interesting is talking with bands that really were in the thick of it, either releasing an album right before the pandemic, or it was a release in the middle of it. You know, that time, and you mentioned that you had this time, so you built a studio, and you're like, and that creative energy needs to go somewhere, so you guys keep nurturing it, keep working on it. There's some catharticism, there's some release, also that time, and you said it almost felt like it was before, where that label pressure, or whatever it is, hey, we got to go do this, we got to do that, you got this interview, you got that. Was there a little bit of enjoyment, or maybe underlying, that you're like, this is actually, we can be us, we can do us, we can create like us in all of that?
Sure, absolutely. And I don't think we were ever really in a place where we couldn't necessarily be us, but I think there is, like you said, there's those external influences and pressures that happen, whether it's you inducing it on yourself, or whether it's a little bit of both. So I do think that we definitely felt that. We felt that when we were writing this, to just have fun, and it was just us. And so this record ended up being just produced by us. We just did it ourselves, and then we got it mixed with our boy Zach Jones. But it really was us just having fun, and we really threw the rule book out the window on this, and we really incorporated our really, really heavy influences, our like hip hop influences, industrial, punk, like whatever we wanted to. We put it all in there, and we really just try to make it fun, and try to make it fresh, and like no worries, like if anybody would like it or not. Again, that's what we did in the beginning. And then you're in the midst of that. We had the first record did really well, and then you kind of you're lost in that. It was a whirlwind for us. Like we'd never been as like busy, as popular, all those things. Never been as well, let's just call it as well received. And then so you're just, I look back at that time, and then, I think it gave us, brought us back to a grassroots place to kind of have it kind of go away in a way. So that's really, I guess, a blessing is a curse is a blessing sometimes.
Right.
Good things. There's a positive and a negative to almost everything.
Well, and you look, and you decide which one you're going to find on that, or which one you're going to spend more energy on. And I'm glad you guys spent energy on making the music, because now we have a brand new Dead album, Resent. Like I mentioned, it dropped on the 19th, and I know, like you mentioned, you guys are just so excited, just stoked to have this out, because it's a long time, and a lot of effort put in there. Talking about adding those influences in, and being able to maybe take some chances, throw caution in the wind. Hell, if it doesn't work, well, you're still just right. It doesn't matter. Pulling in, was there anything that you're like, wow, this really worked? Like, man, I want to spend more time doing this, and maybe some other things that you're like, okay, I'm glad we delved into it, but let's maybe back off and not focus so much on that on this record.
Sure. You mean for the next record after this one now already?
Or movie. So this one, and then even moving forward with you guys. Yeah, for sure.
For me, that's so funny. I was thinking about that this morning, interestingly enough. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to feel this way in a year when we do the next record, or as because we're already going to start writing for the next record now when we get home. But I think I am thinking that already. This is cool. Maybe I shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have done that, or whatever it is, already, dude, it's crazy, but I'm still proud of it. I know that we still, I listen to it and I like it, and I really enjoy it so much. And, I think there's some of the freshest stuff that we've ever done on here, and some of the like coolest, catchiest, heaviest. I really think my lyrics, still resonate with me very heavily, even though it was kind of written over a couple years.
Cool.
I think I really tried to write diary honest lyrics. I didn't try to write anything that I thought like, oh, hopefully people feel this way, even though I don't, like that. It's like, no, I need to enjoy it first. There was an interview I watched, and I can't remember the band, kind of an obscure band. And the guy was talking about, like writing music, for other people, for the attention of the fan or whatever. And I get that in a way, but at the same time, like if you write music for other people and you don't really love it, and then it comes out and they don't love it, and then you don't love it, then what a waste of time and energy and everything. if you love it and it's yours and you just back it and you want to put out something that you're proud of, if everybody loves it, great, then everybody loves it. But if they don't love it and you still love it, then it's still great. It's still a success. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of the idea, a little bit is like we love it and we just hope everybody loves it. That's great. And if they don't, that's also okay. Like it makes it okay.
That is so poignant. I think such a great, just a great thing you pointed out there, because and I think it goes with your generation and this generation of musicians, is that it's not this poison, nothing but a good time, and there's a time and a place. It's something that is true to you, and when you put your stamp on it, it's like, this is me. This is what I'm writing for, is for me. And I just hope it resonates, and you're doing your best for it. You want other people to enjoy it, but that's just such a great way to look at the art that you're putting out is it's you first, and you're just hoping that it resonates. And obviously it is, because everyone's just been up in arms and excited about this. I love that take on it. And it means so much as a fan and a listener to know that it's not just some bubblegum, BS that we're just enjoying for the time, and it's not going to sit, or whatever. It'll be there and gone. And I think that's really great. And I'm glad that you guys and just the generation of singers we have right now are continuing to do that and being true to them, which then really speaks to the listener out there. So I commend you on that. And again, Resent, we got the full album out now. You mentioned all the writings. I didn't even plan on asking this, but hearing how many songs you wrote over that time, was there any that didn't make it on the cutting room floor that you're like, oh, it's so close, can we not make this like a double LP or whatever? Maybe is there a handful? Maybe they were like, oh, they're right there.
Yeah, there are. And it was kind of the end of the picking for the album, the track listing. I know we all there was like the obvious maybe 6 or 7 that everybody was like, yeah, that's good,
right,
unanimous. And then there's the other 5 or 6 or whatever. So I know that there are a handful that we want to release, and the way it is nowadays, like you can just release a single. So I think we will do that with maybe 2 or 3 of them, or maybe rework them a little bit and then go for it. Maybe do a deluxe edition, like probably sooner than later. There's no reason to wait nowadays. Everybody wants everything right away, and have it. Why not do it? So yeah, we're already discussing a deluxe edition or releasing more music, like as soon as possible, actually. So yeah, I'm excited, because there were a couple that I think would have been really cool additions to the record, but I'm happy with what we got, but it'll be cool to add a couple extras.
Right, and that's I want you to know we're all enjoying what you put out, but it's just It's great. What I would do if I were you is I would just ride this out for the next 20 years. You just release a chunk of songs, you'll be fine. You're set. You got enough for the next couple decades, man.
Yeah, we're fine.
Won't have to write anything new for at least 15 more years.
We're all set, man.
Well, very good. Again, Resent from Dead. It's out now. And this is actually a 2-part. I ask this for everyone that I do interviews to, and it's always kind of a tough question, or sometimes it's easy, surprisingly or not. 2-part with you guys. One, do you have a favorite track on the record, or one that speaks to you more than the rest? 2, for songs that didn't make a cut, is there a favorite that you're really hoping to maybe get on the next go around?
Yeah, so I would say for the record, I'd have to split it up into 2 of them, which is I think significant with the record, with most of our music. Actually, there's I like to call it negative music for positive people. So like there's a real duality of like, certain songs are really heavy, and there's a hopelessness to it, and there's a I'm giving up. I don't, like, the world needs to get washed out, like I'm praying for rain.
Right.
There's that part of you on certain days, and then there's other parts where it's more optimistic. So like there's a song called Wasted that's really kind of like my pessimistic side, my throwing up my hands, F everything, type of stuff. That one, it's the opening cut on the record. I think it's really really fresh. It just feels really cool to me. And feels like we tried to write like future music. We actually used that word future music for ourselves, was to write something that we wouldn't have written right now and to try to push ourselves to do different things and just make something weird. And then there's another one called Purpose. That's the single right now. And that one's definitely like about listening to your true self, your intuition, and letting it be your guide in life. And not listening to all the things we're inundated with, especially on our phones, like, the algorithm's trying to tell you what it thinks you're supposed to be all the time, based on what you click on. And it's really messing people up, I think, you know what I mean? Like if you don't take a minute and think about it, and you're not cognitive of the fact that they're trying to make you feel good and make you come back to their device and everything like that, and like and pull you down a certain way, or I put you in this identity box. And I think that we're all super unique individuals, and we're all very capable of being cognitive of what our intuition tells us, what is correct as a human being, all those things, so that's what Purpose is about. And when you find those things and you know what you love, your purpose, whether it's your art or your job or martial arts or your family or whatever you find joy and beauty in, and you flourish in, to surround yourself and make that like your life, like feel I can just feel myself, even just talking about it. I can feel being alive. I can feel it in my chest, so I really want to share that kind of experience and that kind of that thought process with people, and hopefully they can feel that and get lost in that.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, we can't wait to get the rest of it and what is to come. We're going to see a lot of great stuff. Final thing on this record, because there's so much going on with it. We got so much to talk about. The collaborations that you guys had on the record, which 3 to be exact, and it's some big hitters. You got Chris from Motionless in White. You got a guy, Chad Gray, may have heard of him, Mudvayne. And then also you had Danny Leal from Upon a Burning Body. I always love collaborations because it just brings this new dynamic, and I know you felt it, and bringing in, talk about that, getting hooked up with those guys, and then also how it challenged you to, find new sounds or do new things, push yourself, and then what it brought to the record.
Yeah, I mean, it brought the awesome things. I mean, we're fans of all 3 of those bands,
right?
All 3 of those singers, and so I think I think it's a well-rounded kind of vibe, and those bands kind of speak to how the record is. So there's definitely that heavy metalcore influences. There's a heavy hard rock influence. There's a heavy kind of new metal influence, and I think it's kind of a mixture of all 3 of those types of things. And they're all just friends, So it was very organic. It wasn't like having our manager hit up their manager and see if, can we do this? It was more like hey, and none of them were like singles either or anything like that, like as far as like a single, like that. But
right.
It was just like, I just want to make cool music with these people. I wanted to, I was hanging with Chad in Vegas at a show maybe a year ago or so, and we were just talking about what was going on, and I've known Chad since 2010, 11, something like that. He produced one of my old band's records, and he lived in Phoenix. That's where I'm from. So just love Chad, and I'm so proud of him, and everybody go check out the new Mudvayne stuff. Like, I've seen his journey, and I'm so proud of them for coming back and putting out such amazing new music. It's so awesome. But anyway, like having him on the record, like we were talking, we went to something more melodic, something like this. I was like, dude, I want you on something just gnarly, And so that's what we did. I sent him, I think I sent him a couple of different songs, and I was like, I think this one, dude, the one that he's on is called You Want Honest. I feel like it has kind of like I don't know. To me, it feels kind of like older Sepultura or something like that,
Oh, nice.
Like and I know Chad gets down with like Obituary and some just some, he gets down with some heavy, some really heavy stuff and thrashy stuff, I guess. And so I was like, what do you think about this one? And he was into it. And so he got down on it. It was awesome, dude. It was, and it's just so cool, even though he's been my friend for so long now, it's still, I still remember the first time I heard LD50, like I still hear him, I still watch him, like, as both a friend and a fan, frankly. So cool to have him on it. Same thing with Chris. I was like, send him a couple things. I was like, I just want you on just a ripper, bro. I'm not trying to have you on, so we can, have a big radio hit. I just want to do something sick. I had done their song Slaughterhouse with them at Red Rocks. I did Brian's part from Knock Loose, and it was just so fun to just do, like, because that song up there is like one of their heaviest songs they ever did.
Right.
And that really inspired me. I was like, I want a song, a really heavy song. And I think that's where that came from. And then with Danny, same thing. Our guitarist Alex is good homies with them, and their bass player Thomas came out on an In This Moment run and filled in, and so we just became good friends with them, and we had that song Rise Above It All, and we just felt like I could just hear Danny on it. I could just hear him doing it. We needed that extra something with it, like the extra balls, that I thought. And he has this great yell scream thing that is just so audible, and it's just so round and full, and I could just hear it. And then he did it, and it was exactly like what I thought it would sound like. And we just sent it to him. He sent it back. He just knocked it out of the park. Did everything he wanted to do. I was just like, I told him a couple things, and then I said, but just get nuts, do whatever you want. And he just did his thing, and he did more than we asked him to, and it was so sick. So
love it.
Yeah, having all three of them on there is, we feel honored. They're bands that we really love, and it's just, it's so sick.
I love it. And, it's one talking about how when you envision something and you see it and you hear it and then it comes together even better than you imagine. That's just great. We would be totally happy with just 12, 13, whatever Dead songs, but to have that in there and again, fans of you and then fans of that, I know is such a treat for the listeners out there. So it's just so cool, and I love the breakdown on that. Thank you for sharing. Well, the good news is, everyone, new Dead is out. Resent got released. Go get it if you haven't yet for some reason. If you've just been being silly and procrastinating, stop it. It's out now, and obviously you can hear it all the time on air. Now that we got the important stuff out of the way, Joe, do you mind if we do a little rapid fire? I want to do that. I do this with everyone. This is the non-important stuff, but we're still going to learn a little bit about you, okay?
Let's go.
All right. No wrong answers. Go with your gut. Let's start simple.
All right.
Sneakers or sandals?
What is it?
Sneakers or sandals?
Flip-flops.
You do the flip. Okay, flip-flops. Also, when you hear sandal, do you think like the Jesus Cruisers, like the I got you.
Yeah, or slides or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flip-flops my whole life, man. Kind of a hippie dude. I love it. And then Vans and flip-flops back and forth. So
I see you can't go right. And obviously, like you said, you're an Arizona boy, so either your feet are hot or they're in flip-flops. That's how it works right there. So.
Exactly.
All right, let's do Vanilla Ice or Ice Cube?
Ice Cube.
That's fair. I'd figured you were going to say that one. Billy Ocean or Billy Idol?
Billy Idol.
Going with Billy Idol. That
I mean,
bottle blonde.
I'll get down Caribbean Queen, though.
Right? You have to. You have to.
I mean, Eyes Without a Face, though, dude. Come on.
What? Yeah. That's such. I love that you are on the deep side of it, because we can all just go with the tip. We know Billy Idol and the blonde hair and the rebel, whatever. But I love that you appreciate it. So that's great. How about this? Choco Taco or Flintstone Push Pop?
Ooh, Choco Taco. I'm so sad that they are discontinued. I have a fond memory. My uncle, again, Arizona hot summer days, going over to my uncle's house using the pool, and he'd have a freezer in the garage just stacked with Choco Tacos, and I would just rip those every weekend, and it was something I look forward to. So yeah, 100%.
100%. Yeah. And I don't think anyone, because I think you and I are very close in age. You don't know if you're not old enough, the pure joy and flavor burst of that somewhat chewy wafer, taco shell within there. I would go to the pool with $5 in money for a snack, and I'd spend $4.50 for a Choco Taco, and that was it. And that was all I needed. That's all I needed.
Absolutely. It's dessert and it's a taco. It's Mexican and dessert. It's fantastic.
It's perfect.
Yes.
I would suck in my gut and walk past the girls at the pool, and then I would get my Choco Taco and eat it in the shit.
Yeah.
I love it. How about let's do here. We'll end on this one. Would you rather take a Chuck Norris roundhouse kick at 100% power or a Mike Tyson punch at 50% power?
Oh my God.
It's a tough one.
So terrible. Both sound so terrible. And
let's put them in their prime, just put them in their prime, like
just to make it way worse.
Yeah. So Chuck Norris, Enter the Dragon, and Mike Tyson right out of prison. I mean, fresh out of prison.
50% Tyson. I mean, 50% Tyson. I feel like, I mean, even 50% would be horrible, but 50% is better than 100%,
That's true. And Chuck Norris, I mean, hey, he beat Bruce Lee, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. What was that? Return of the Dragon?
It was Enter the Dragon or Return of the Dragon, whatever one it was.
Bruce Lee, ripped off his chest hair in that one, I think. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I loved, and it's so classic because instead of this, shaven, glistening chest, no, it's a guy with shoulder hair that connects to his chest hair. But that's not the guy you want to fight right there at all.
Dude. That was like the
all.
70s too. That's when everybody was doing it, and it was
Oh.
cool. And I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a really good take if you look it up where they do it where they're like taking their shirts off, get ready to fight, but they do it with like this kind of romantic music, and it's like they're getting ready to hook up, dude. Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, dude. It's so funny. Yeah,
I know what I'm doing after this interview. That's exactly what I'm doing, and that's all. That's all I need. That's all I need there. Joe, thank you for humoring me. More importantly, thank you for talking new music, brother. Dead, Resent. It's out now, and we can't wait to see you, buddy.
Appreciate you, man. It's so good to be back here and just hanging out, talking music with you, and good to see you, man. Thanks.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Brock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.